How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today, lads, we're going to be taking a look at some Pokemon rumors as well as news. We do have some official news, which is the new update for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get started. First things first, we have this post right here over on Cerebi, which basically gives us the details on the brand new update. So here it is. Added to its release shortly, we have details on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's 3.0.1 patch notes. So these are the updates for this specific patch. Now, this patch includes the announced bug fixes of the alterations of TM223's crafting materials to remove the shield-on material in order to allow players in Scarlet to make the TM. So basically, this was an error they had in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which didn't allow for the crafting of specifically, I think, a metal sound, right? So yeah, basically they've removed that error now. That's not an issue anymore, so it should be fine. Next up, though, the Dragon Cheer issue has been resolved. So Dragon Cheer, I guess, is like when you're cheering and doing the specific one for Dragon type, I guess, in this case. The issue has the effect of Dragon Cheer continue on even after the recipient had switched out. So, okay, they've fixed that, which, fair enough. An error where the game would freeze up if you leveled up in K to level 29 or lower using items has also been resolved. Because, yeah, the game would freeze if you turn the console upside down and stuff, which was a bit weird, but they managed to solve that. Moving on. Fixed an issue where, under certain circumstances, players become stuck between the item printer and a wall in the League Club. Okay, interesting. So, between the item printer and the wall in the League Club. So, I didn't know this was actually an issue, but apparently, yeah, I guess players got stuck between the item printer and the wall. Okay. Also, they fixed an issue where Calyrex wouldn't remember learning certain moves after being separated from Glastrier and Spectrier and refused, so certain moves would disappear. Several other issues have also been resolved. We have full details on the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet patch section, I guess. And the patch is live when we updated the TM page. So we go to patch section here. It basically just says all the things that have been fixed, like Smeargle can no longer use Transform and Wild Encounters. Fix an issue with Calyrex, right? So we already know about that one. And yeah, for the most part, it just is bug fixes, and you need to go online to actually update your game. So in the game, you gotta make sure you go to the online and update it that way, or just update it through your in-game. So just make sure you have your Switch updated if you are still playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, as you definitely want to get this update just in case there was some broken stuff in there to make sure you don't want to have to deal with. And I don't know how many people need Metal Sound, but if you need Metal Sound and you were playing, what do you call it? I think it was Scarlet, right? I think it was Scarlet. Then you may be able to get it now. So, yeah, that pretty much summarizes the official patch news. That's pretty much a summary of that. Now, let's move on to two other topics that I want to talk about today. First of all is this post over on 4chan. It's another 4chan rumor. So, again, please take this all with a pretty much mountain of salt. Don't take it as being real just off the bat. Just keep that in mind. So, I thought we'd go through this one and see what it has to say. Starting things off, we have the first part here. So, Pokemon Day 2024. So, it's basically saying what we're going to expect then. This was posted yesterday during the afternoon, saying Miraidon, Phalanx, Ceruledge are coming to unite. New game mode, Dragon's Den. Now, we know Miraidon and Phalanx, those were confirmed yesterday, so, well, the day even before yesterday. So, I don't really know if this is anything new. Ceruledge, however, on the other hand, is another one that we've heard about. Rumors, I think I've heard about this one, even for Pokemon Go. Continuing, Pokemon Go, Captain Pikachu, possibly Shiny, teaser trailer, Koraidon, and Miraidon. Apparently, that's what would be for Pokemon Go. Now, Koraidon, Miraidon being added to Pokemon Go would be sick. They still haven't. It's about time, so we'll see. I mean, keep in mind, Scarlet and Violet came out 2 years ago at this point, right? It's already been 2 years since the release of those games. It's time we get, like, those added to Pokemon Go. It seems like they've taken way too much time on with that one. Moving on. They have apparently a Ho-Oh and Lugia Terra raid events. Now, this is a lot of the stuff here is repetition, I feel like, from one of the other rumors that I read not too long ago. So it kind of feels like it's repeating a lot of that information. However, Cafe Remix Ogrepon event, apparently, which, again, repeating information we've seen. Continuing, though, a Gen 7 themed Pokemon Masters EX update, okay, and Pokemon Home Arena. Interesting. So this is supposed to be a new separate game game extension of Pokemon Home. I would love that. Battle simulator with high-quality move animations. That would be sick. Commentator, okay. Which I guess would be similar to... what he means by commentator is like just somebody talking over the match, which would be similar to Pokemon Battle Revolution, I would say. I guess the closest would be Battle Revolution, right? And something like that, like, I guess, a commentator talking over. Now, battle formats would be Pokemon Let's Go. Must own 1 copy of Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee to access the format. Pokemon Gen 8. Must own 1 copy of Sword and Shield to access the format. Pokemon BDSP. Must own 1 copy of Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl to access the format, and Pokemon Gen 9 must own 1 copy of Scarlet or Violet to access the format. If this is true, ooh, Chief, having to own all of them to access like the different battle formats, that's a little bit, ooh, I don't know, Chief. That's a little bit, I don't know if I would like that. That seems like, man, that's a lot of money, okay? Each one of those games is like $60, and if you need 1 of each, like, sweet mother of God, that's a lot of money, man. That's so much money. But yeah, like, what is that actually? If each game is 60, it's 120 for 2 games, so basically you're paying like $240, basically, $240 minimum. Unless you can find them at discounts, of course, which is always a chance. But damn, that's like, it'll be a lot of money for like people that maybe didn't have Let's Go and you want to access the format for that. That would be, you know, I don't know, if you're already paying for home, and man, it's a lot of money. But yeah, like I'm saying though, I just don't see it being, I don't know, it seems like a little bit unfair to have to like pay for home, pay for all these games to access all the formats. It just seems ridiculous. Apparently also online, single and double and multi-battle. So casual, ranked, and tournament brackets. Fair enough, that would be kind of necessary, otherwise it would be kind of pointless, wouldn't it? Pokemon models based on Pokemon Home. Interesting. That's actually very intriguing, because Pokemon Home does have like unique kind of like model thingies that are shown off in it. So I wonder if they would have like separate full 3D models then that are functional. It wouldn't surprise me if that's the case. But either way, a hub space with other online users around the world. Okay, that sounds like pretty much the hub spaces from like maybe like X and Y or something like that. Seasonal pass plus purchase costumes for Avatar and Pokemon. Really? So they're just Pokemon unitifying it, I guess. Okay. Now, accessing Pokemon Home Arena for the first time gives you a level 100 Snorlax Pokemon Home. Is that, like, that would be funny if the reason they're doing that is because they're doing that whole Snorlax promo with all those pictures of Snorlax. If you haven't seen it, it's basically on Twitter, and it's just a bunch of these images of Snorlax just basically repeated. Like, it's just a bunch of Snorlax versions in different games. But it is what it is. Moving on, though, they say the next thing, which is August 6th. Apparently, Pokemon Blinding Gold and Pokemon Dazzling Silver. Huh. I feel like the word blinding in this case, I don't know if they would do that. That seems like a name, the word they wouldn't use, you know, in a Pokemon title. It's just, I don't know, Chief. Apparently developed by Game Freak and Ilka. Okay. It has BDSP and Gold Silver Crystal aesthetic. What does that mean? Mega Evolution, following Pokemon, new storylines and events, Sylveon, future Pokemon Home Arena capability and format, November 21st. And of course, November 21st, if we look at the actual schedule here of this year, would be on a Saturday, which, do they usually, I think like they usually don't release on Saturdays, do they? It's usually Fridays or even Thursdays. DLC usually drops like any time, to be fair. Usually throughout the mid of the week, like Wednesday or something like that, or Thursday. But the mainline games usually drop on Fridays, so like the 20th would make more sense. But again, I don't know. My whole thing with this one is I'm not feeling the names. Like Pokemon Blinding Gold and Dazzling Silver. Now, of course, to me they sound fine. To me they don't sound like bad or dangerous or, you know, inappropriate. But there's always going to be someone, and that's why I feel like from a marketing standpoint, there's got to be somebody over there who would have been like, if that's the one they're going for, there's got to be someone who would have been like, hey, let's maybe not use that word. Doesn't fit the theme that well. Let's just skip over that one and name it something else. Like, I just find it like, you know, Blinding Gold. I don't know. If it's real, fair enough. I just highly doubt the naming there. Like, out of everything here, that's the part that gets me the most. Like, the actual stuff about the battle formats and having to own all the game, that sounds about right. Pokemon loves to do that, forcing you to buy another product to get one product. You know what I mean? It's not like a new thing. It's very much something I would have expected. But it's still, it's I don't know, it's still a bit weird. The thing that gets me like to doubt this whole rumor is the Blinding Gold part. Again, that's like the one part. And also Game Freak and Ilka working on like this one game together. I mean, fair enough. I don't see the likeliness of it, but I digress. Anything is possible, okay? We are living in weird times. So, what do you guys think about this one? I'd love to know, your thoughts and opinions, everything down below. Just let me know. I don't really know where to go with this one. I'm just going to leave it at that, and let's move on to the next thing, which is going to be this post right here. And this was also from 4chan, and it's about the possibility of where Generation 10 will be based on. So keep in mind, Generation 10 most likely coming out next year. So in 2025, it's going to be 3 years since, you know, Generation 9 came out, and it's going to be about time we start a new generation. So unless this year is empty and we don't have a new Pokemon game this year, logically, there should be just guessing here, logically there should be a new generation then next year, like without a doubt. Now, this is what this rumor, or not really rumor, this is just a bit of a theory by a person here who says that Petrorunt and the art hint at Gen 10 location from Anonymous. He says, the Chinese people introduced the peaches in Europe, with Italy being the first import country, later spreading the peaches all around Europe. Back then, peaches became a stylistic device for depicting realism and the fleetingness of life in art by Flemish painter Jan van Eyck and the Dutch painter Van Gogh, okay? Which has recently received a special TCG card due to the special Pokemon art at the Van Gogh, or Van Gogh, you know, whatever way you want to say it, museum. Now, interestingly, the Dutch are known for their painters in the Golden Century, which is a big part of Dutch culture, and 3 paintings are present in the Mona's house. One looks like Ash's Greninja, or using only red, blue, yellow, and black colors, which is the style of the Dutch painter Piet Mondrian. I don't know if I'm, Piet Mondrian, I don't know, whatever. The other one are 2 Eevees in a landscape. Okay, and if you look closely, the painting was made in the Van Gogh style. Look closely at the way the air is painted. Now, again, he doesn't actually link these, but if you want to know what he's referring to, I may be able to get an image up of it. Let's see. In the Mona's house paintings, I think if we can see it here. So, if you look right here, there are a few paintings in that house, right, in that place. So you have this one right here, which stylistically is a bit odd, a bit different than what I would have expected. You have these fellows right here, and then, of course, this one. This is the one that's like the most interesting, I would say, the one of Eevee in this case. It's like the most interesting one, I would argue. But moving back on to the actual post, it continues on, it says the following, saying that... the third one includes a bunch of Finneon and Luminion, which look very real. The Netherlands' most famous painter, Rembrandt van Rijn, is known for his realistic way of painting, okay? Brassius is also an artist and made the Surrendering Sunflora, which is based on sunflowers, just like Van Gogh. In the player's house, more paintings can be found. Also, keep in mind, Brassius, he jumps off of a windmill. Keep in mind, he jumps off a windmill, which... is kind of on the nose. It's like the one thing in the Netherlands that when you think of the Netherlands, there's a few things you think about. You think about the color orange, you think about tulips, you think about windmills. Okay, it's like the 3 things that I can think of when I think of the Netherlands, and the fact that they've never won a World Cup. So, either way. But the thing is, it's so odd to me just to think about like the fact that there's a bunch of those little hints in there, like for example, Brassius' whole connection to it. Continuing on, which is based on sunflowers, in the player's house, more paintings can be found, such as a fruits specialty of Willem van Aelst? I don't even know. Windmills, specialty of Jacob van Ruysdael, and a dancing woman, specialty of Jan... Oh, geez, I can't say this one. Sleuters? I don't know. Either way, according to recent speculation of Gen 10 being based on the Netherlands, I think this may add up to this theory. Masuda was also in the Netherlands recently, which whenever he goes somewhere, it's a possibility that might be where we get our next game. Overall, I think this is not a coincidence. Now, I'm gonna be real. I already said this, like, not even last year, but the year before that, when these games first came out, and there was already a few hints. Actually, I think we did talk about it last year as well, that it might be based on the Netherlands. Like, this is already a topic we've had a discussion of, and we've already talked about. And honestly, I don't see that being impossible. I think there's a lot of Netherlands connections, and I might do a whole video talking about just all the Netherlands hints and stuff, like, as to where it will be based. Because honestly, the Netherlands makes sense as the next location. They did the whole Van Gogh, museum, collaboration with Pokemon. There's a bunch of hints, in Scarlet and Violet to the Netherlands. It's a logical place to base it on. There's a lot of history there you can base it off of. Masuda's been there. Masuda recently visited there. And I know you might say, but Masuda doesn't work at the Game Freak anymore. He works at the Pokemon Company. But he was still involved with the games. He's still involved with, BDSP, for example. He was still involved with that game. I don't know if he oversaw it or produced it. I don't really remember. But he was still involved with it. So my point is just this. I think it's worthwhile to keep a track of this. Remember the Netherlands in your mind for when we talk about this next year. I think this might have a big impact then. For now, though, I don't think we're going to expect a new generation to be announced this year. If they do announce a new gen this year, that would be insane. It would be the first time since maybe generation 1 or 2 that they announced a game. But even then, there was usually 3 years between. So I don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, I would love to know you guys' thoughts and opinions on this one. Personally, I would love a region based on the Netherlands, because that would also include Belgium, where I'm currently located. So, when I say it would also include Belgium, it's because the same way that like Paldea includes both Portugal and Spain, if both of those cultures are mixed in, I'm pretty sure that they would include Belgium because they also speak Dutch here, like Flemish, whatever you want to call it, the whole Flanders region where I'm currently staying at. It's like they would kind of, I would assume, mix both of those things in, into one. And there's a lot of things they can do with it. There's a lot of variety of things they can do with it. So I would like to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. Like, let me know in the comment section down below. Would you want a Dutch region? Yes or no? I'd just love to know and hear it. But either way, that's going to be it for today. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out and bye-bye.